What's going on, guys? So for this week, I continued working on my spell system, and more specifically, I worked on the condition effects that get applied to the enemy after the projectile hits the enemy. So I also worked on, you can see these little orbs here. I'm working on making elemental orbs, and I learned how to do like a dissolve shader with some YouTube tutorials, and I'm planning that for my loot system, which I'm going to work on next week. So certain enemies drop certain loot, including orbs, which you could be used to buy spells. So this week I worked on condition effects for the Ice Orb, Electric Pulse, and Fireball. So starting off, let me just shoot a Fireball here. So this guy here is on fire. You can see here he's burning, and he takes about 7. It's a percentage of the damage done of the initial hit. So I set it to like rank 3, and I'll show that in a second. So I'll throw one more here, and you can see he takes some more burn damage. And I made it a lot for this test just to show that it works. For the Ice Orb, throw it into the crowd there. So it chills them, turns them blue, and it slows not only the movement speed of the nav agent, but also the actual animation speed. So if you go like anim.time, it reduces the speed with a modifier. Okay, so if you set the anim speed to 0, you can make like a freeze effect too, which I did for the stun. So with Electric Pulse, this is going to be a stun that freezes the enemy in place. So it's probably only going to be a 2 or 3 second stun to start, but it's cool to see that like the enemy pauses in that animation state. So let's say if I throw like a Ice Orb at him, and I made it so there's only going to be one like CC effect or crowd control effect. So if you already have like a chill effect, you can't have a chill and a stun. It's going to overwrite. And he's stunned there. And then you could do the Fireball here. So pretty happy with the results here. You could shoot the spells not only at the target, but like if you're not targeting, it'll go in the direction that's forward of the player, which I didn't have before. And you could also dual wield. So I have my sword here, and I could use, let's say, stun him here, and then come up. Not close enough. And swing at the enemy. Stun him. Or chill him. Yep. And I also made it so if the enemy dies with a hit, it's not going to add the condition effect. So that's what I did this week, and I'll show you the basic script in a second. So let me get out of this. Okay, so So what it's going to do is it's going to apply a condition effect. So I have a condition effect here, and while let's say if it's a burn, the active particle effect is always going to be on the enemy. So like the lightning effect or the fire effect. Let me just use the dot as an example, so this is derived from the condition effect, but it has more information such as like the type that would be used. So it could be, burn, poison, any kind of damage over the effect time, and it basically puts a numerator, and every couple seconds it does a percentage of damage based on the initial damage done, and it sets the damage per tick. How I set it up was I made scriptable objects. So let me put burn effect here. You could just see one. And a scriptable object, and based on the rank of the spell, so let's say you have a rank 3 fireball, it's going to last, and I just put 6 for everything, but I'll probably increase it. But it's going to do 80% of the initial damage over time. That's why you see it does like 8 damage per tick. When it rank 1 or 0 should do like maybe 2, or based on the 20%. And then go to the chill effect here. and I have a slow percent of 25%, 50. And actually, let me just show you if I do the Ice Orb spell and I rank it to the max rank of 3. Right now I have current skill rank of 0 because I didn't level it up. But just to show you, it's pretty cool where it literally slows him down to nothing and almost freezing him. So let me just throw one here. So now he's pretty much like frozen. You can see him move like a little bit. But and then if I go to, let's say, the burn effect, and I'll change that to rank, or the fireball effect, I'll change the rank to 1. So it'll do less damage now. So the initial, let's say, the initial hit is 25, and now he only gets 3 damage done every 2 seconds instead of the 8 that you saw originally. Now the overall spell damage will be increased by, which I will work on, the actual attributes. So like intellect will increase your spell power, which will increase your main damage of your spells. But the rank of the spell will improve the condition effect on it. I gotta figure out what to do for like weapon skill effects, but for spell effects, I think this works pretty well. So pretty happy with that. For next week, I'm going to be working on the loot system to make sure certain enemies drop certain things. So maybe humanoids, like bandits, will drop certain equipment, while elementals will drop things related to, you know, their element. As well as like trees and rocks and things like that should drop stone or wood and other things. So I got to figure that out. Initially, let me go to my... So this is my skill tree item hierarchy. So here in draw.io, I'm working on loot tables to see what things should drop. So like rock should drop stone, plants should drop maybe fiber, bugs, seeds, trees should drop sap, wood, maybe some tree seeds. So I gotta figure out the best way of doing that so I could easily add new items to loot tables as I go on. Okay, so that's it. The video is almost 8 minutes, so I'm going to end here. But if you have any questions or comments, let me know below or in the Discord. Thanks for watching.